Typically, when civil wars or natural disasters like hurricanes level large portions of other nations, the U.S. government lends a hand with a type of humanitarian aid known as Temporary Protective Status, or TPS. It's a designation that lets foreign nationalists temporarily live in this country because it's too dangerous for them to return to their own. But just days after Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas, the Trump administration is essentially closing our doors, saying that Bahamians will not be given TPS status. And while it's not clear exactly who made that decision, it came just a day after this remark.
The Bahamas had some tremendous problems with people going to the Bahamas that weren't supposed to be there. I don't want to allow people that weren't supposed to be in the Bahamas to come into the United States, including some very bad people and some very bad gang members and some very, very bad drug dealers.
But they're not the only ones the Trump administration is looking to shut out. They're also looking to cut off TPS status for 6 other countries, including El Salvador, which is the largest group of TPS holders in the U.S., many of whom live in the Boston area. And as Liz Neisloss tells us, they're dealing with a lot of uncertainty.
Here in Arlington, another house under renovation. A common sight in Greater Boston, where the building boom is keeping contractor Jose Arias busy.
I started like everybody else, working for another company. One day I was ready to go on my own, so 14 years ago, I started my own company.
His company is now renovating 7 houses, and he employs dozens, including U.S. citizens like Jorge Martinez.
The ceilings are painted, right?
Yeah, no, all the ceilings are done. So
despite his success and nearly 20 years in the U.S., Urias may be forced to leave. He came to the U.S. as a teen when special status was granted to El Salvador after 2 devastating earthquakes. He's among some 6,000 Salvadorans who call Massachusetts home. But if the Trump administration gets its way, TPS holders not only from El Salvador, but also Haiti, Nicaragua, and Sudan would have to leave.
What do you say to people who say, well, temporary protected status, temporary is temporary? What do you say to them?
Well, I don't think you can call something temporary as in 18 years. You build family, you build business, you buy houses, you are part to your neighborhood, to where we live. So it's like how you can call that a temporary. You're going to call your kids a temporary life too.
The fate of immigrants like Urias, at least for now, rests on a legal battle.
We're ready in the first matter.
This California appeals court may rule within weeks on whether or not the Trump administration can move ahead to end TPS for more than 300,000 immigrants.
Mira, ¿quieres leche?
Including Jose Palma. His children are U.S. citizens, but he and his wife are both TPS holders. If they're forced to go, Jose says, they'll take their 2 youngest children and leave their teenagers behind.
It will be a hard conversation to have with our kids. And I think that's kind of like what the conversation is, in some sense, are going on already in many TPS families.
Palma, who lives in Lynn, has testified on behalf of TPS holders in Congress.
I think this country has been very strong because it has helped people when they need, and those people eventually contribute and make the economy and the places where they live stronger.
What do we want? Justice!
If the legal fights fail, he and other TPS immigrants hope that the tide of public opinion will shift enough to pave the way for new laws. Laws that recognize the lives they've built in America are no longer temporary. Liz Neisloss, WGBH News.
Whatever the outcome from that California appeals court, neither side is expected to back down. The ultimate fate of the Trump TPS policy will likely be decided by the U.S. Supreme Court.